Greetings and welcome to the LifeSpring Community Christian Church Security Training video. First, let me explain the scope and purpose behind this particular video. This training is not designed to provide training for our security team personnel. We do have a fully functioning security team here at LifeSpring that will be present at any and every service. These personnel have been specifically trained in a detailed manner by the security director. Their training is not included here. Instead, this training is designed for volunteers, members, and attendees at LifeSpring, so that you can help us provide a safe and secure environment in which we can worship and continue to pursue our mission of joining God in restoring a broken world. The first thing we want you to be aware of is that there is a fully functioning security team. If you have interest in joining this team, please contact me at doug@lscommunity.org. I'll be happy to connect and follow up with you. We typically target those people who are physically capable of providing security protocols as well as having prior experience in either military, law enforcement, or some other form of security. As for everyone else, we want to make sure that we maintain a safe and secure environment, and you are an important step to doing that. Please be aware that there is a security team that has been fully trained. In the event of an emergency that they need to know about, please contact one of them or ministry staff in order to make sure that the proper protocols are put into place. If you're not sure where to find a security team member, one location there is almost always going to be a member located is here in the lobby during services. They'll be wearing a lanyard, much like the First Impressions staff, with a name directly on it. However, the strip along the bottom of the name tag will be red as opposed to another one of the colors. This denotes that they're a member of the security team. Please approach them with any information that they may need to know. The most important thing you can do in an emergency situation is to remain calm and to assist others in doing the same. You may have heard this a lot, but it is extremely important. What we'd like to do now is to simply run through a number of different situations. We pray none of these situations occur at LifeSpring, but we are fully trained and have a full security staff that is prepared to handle any and every one of these situations. One potential emergency situation that it's always important to be prepared for is the case of a fire. Please be prepared ahead of time in case a fire were to ever occur. There are fire extinguishers located throughout the building mounted on the walls. Please take note of where they're located. Also be sure to know where the nearest exit is at all times. There are evacuation maps also located in different points in the building. In the case of a fire, please exit in an orderly and quick fashion without running or pushing. Please leave the clearing of the building to ensure that all people are out to the security personnel as well as the ministry staff. In the case of harsh weather, such as a tornado where shelter is needed, there are two shelter locations located in the building. The first is near the stage in the auditorium to my left. The second is in the children's space in the large meeting room. The children's space will gather in the first, the auditorium in the second. In the case this occurs during a service, parents who wish to reach their children immediately can either be escorted to their child by security or staff members and or have their children escorted to them. We will not simply allow adults to go back to the children's area, as this would be a breach in security of the children's area. There are a number of security issues that can arise with the children's area. The first thing we ask of you is to make sure that you're keeping an eye out for anything unusual that may be going on around the children's area. The children's hallway is a secured zone with a door during the service time. The rooms themselves are the most secure in the area. Any adult that's going to enter those rooms must either be one of our trained and background checked children's workers or a parent escorted by a children's worker or security personnel. If you are a member of the children's volunteer staff for the children's workers, please be aware that there is a second video with some additional details on child care security that you will also view during your training. For everyone else, please be aware that if there is ever a situation involving a child, such as a situation where the child cannot be located, This is most commonly to occur when a child is hiding from adults or in a location they shouldn't be. But it will trigger a protocol with our security team that may involve shutting down coming and going from the building until the child is located. This is for the safety of everyone involved and to find the child as quickly as possible. Please cooperate with the security personnel in any instructions they may give in that situation. One of the most common situations to find in a public event or church service is a medical emergency. If you come across a medical emergency that has not been noticed at that point by security personnel or ministry staff, please notify them immediately. Call 911 if it's warranted in the moment. Once the security personnel or ministry staff is aware of the medical situation, they will begin to follow a protocol that they have been trained on. The most important thing is to follow their instructions. Even if you have experience with medical situations or with the person involved, please follow the instructions of the trained security personnel. They have been given a specific protocol that will denote an individual who has the most medical experience to respond. The number one mistake made in responding to medical emergencies is having the proverbial too many cooks in the kitchen. Spaces should be cleared. Please assist the security personnel when they ask for space. Tell them if you have any advanced medical training, as that may influence how they respond to the situation. As they assign individuals to tasks, please complete those tasks and ensure that all others in the area step back and remain calm. In the case of a violent or disruptive person being present during a service, please follow the instructions of ministry staff and security personnel. Do not engage with these individuals and let staff and security members know as soon as possible if an instance is ongoing. Even if you believe you have experience, unless you are a licensed law enforcement officer, a trained member of our security staff, or a ministry member on staff here at LifeSpring, please do not engage in one of these situations. Simply step back, allow space, and follow the directions of security members or other staff members. Perhaps the scariest concept when it comes to security in a church is the idea of an active shooter. Thankfully, these are statistically low, despite the fact that we hear about them in the media what seems like very often. The security team here at LifeSpring does have a fully formed plan in place to respond in case of an active shooter. That plan, however, is to remain confidential amongst our trained security personnel for security and safety purposes. In the unlikely case of an active shooter, we ask you to follow the federal run, hide, fight protocols. The first option is to run. If at all possible, please exit and remove yourself from the circumstance or from the area as fast as possible. We ask that though you do not shove or try and fight to exit faster than other individuals, that you also do not delay and try and stop and help other individuals for leaving. This may seem cold, but statistics and study have shown that it actually provides a greater risk not only to yourself but to others to remain behind and assist in the situation of an active shooter. If an exit cannot be reached quickly and efficiently, and one begins to become trapped between the active shooter and a point of no exit, please find a hiding place. Barricade yourself behind objects that are not easily penetrated, out of sight, and remain quiet. If you can enter a different room, please close and lock the door. Create any quick barricades if possible. Turn off any lights. Silence any cell phones other than perhaps calling 911 and remaining silent on the line if the active shooter is close. Please make sure to notify anyone headed in the wrong direction of where the shooter is located and suggest that they either exit the building and or find shelter where they are. If neither hiding or running is in any way a viable option, then the only remaining option is to fight with the active shooter. You may or may not have any physical training. Regardless of your level of training, fully engage, don't hold back. Yell, throw things, improvise weapons, and do not slacken off until the threat of the active shooter has been in some way neutralized. This is a worst case scenario, and we certainly pray that these certain things never happen. However, we are, as I said before, fully trained and prepared to handle any eventuality to the absolute best of our ability. We want you to know that these circumstances and situations have been trained for, looked to, and prepared. In any given situation, once again, please defer to security personnel or paid ministry staff, as they have received a great deal of training. Be aware of your surroundings and let us know of anything that you see that may be out of the ordinary or potentially threatening to individuals located here at LifeSpring. With your help, we truly can produce a safer, more secure environment in our mission to join God in restoring a broken world. Thank you.